Guess it's just me here to do the cold open. Well, in that case, both oh, shit.
Yeah, we were in trouble for a second.
Damn it! I should run downstairs to grab shit.
That was almost really bad.
I thought you had to go downstairs. I'm like, I'm going to take this opportunity quick. I'll save it. I'll save it for something else.
Podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And tonight we're talking about glassware.
Super exciting.
Super.
Although super necessary.
Super necessary, yeah.
Because we ain't heathens and aren't drinking good bourbon out of a shoe.
No.
Or a plastic cup.
I mean,
or a
I
shot.
feel like obviously glassware is super important and it's never really talked about. Partly because it's kind of a personal preference thing. Whatever you like to drink it out of is totally fine. But you do kind of get a different experience when you try the same whiskey with different styles of glass.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and that's the whole whiskey thing, though, right? Is it's all personal preference. So there's no right or wrong answers. There's pros and cons to everything out there. But at the end of the day, whatever you enjoy drinking whiskey out of the most, that's the proper glassware.
But rest assured, Dan will give you the correct answer during this podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's the one I'm drinking out of right now. That I always drink out of on.
Dan, you do like that. You do like that nose and copita, I believe what they call it.
Yep,
You seem to use that a lot.
It's because I had them made for the
I've
podcast.
got one too.
But,
Oh yeah, I didn't get one of those. I got a Gold Eagle one though.
But you weren't part of the podcast back then. Just steal one from Jake, because I don't think Jenna Ray probably uses hers too much.
I have two.
But, yeah. So go ahead.
I was going to say, when it comes to glassware, I think there's two types of people. There's the person, which I believe I am guilty of being this person, who wants to have like one of every style of glassware in their cabinet. And it's awful to store and find room when you find another glassware. And it just looks like a mess having all these different whiskey glasses in your cabinet. That just don't fit together properly. And then the other person is somebody who just loves one specific type of glass. They have, multiples of that glass. And that's really all they have. Maybe like a rocks glass and some kind of neat whiskey tasting glass. So yeah, outside of like Glencairns, I always have a good amount of Glencairns on hand. I am guilty of having probably 20 different types of glasses where I just have one of each different type. And one little shelf of my cabinet that always looks very messy because of that.
When I moved, I got rid of so much glassware. Just because it's a lot of stuff I hardly ever use anymore. I'm definitely more of I have an array, but I have a small array now. Minus a decent amount of Glens, but other than that, I'd like to keep it smaller.
No one's ever going to come visit you either, so
I didn't ask you that first.
Glasses on hand.
First of all, I have people over here all the time drinking whiskey now. Secondly, you're not fucking invited. So. No, I think everyone should have a couple different glasses. I think it's good to use a couple different types, just for different moods of things, but. Probably the first one we should talk about right off the bat is the Glencairn. There's probably the most recognized glass for drinking whiskey. Jake, Gold Eagle Jake, you want to kind of give us some of the reasons why it's such a popular glass and why people use that specifically for whiskey so much?
I feel like it's kind of become the norm. And I mean, going back to me, like, yes, I have, you know, probably 20 Glencairns at home. And on the average day, that's what I'm grabbing. 90% of the time, that's what I'm grabbing to taste whiskey out of. It's consistent. It fits in your hand very nicely. And I feel like you do get a really great nosing and tasting experience out of a Glencairn. But what's odd about the fact that it is the most popular glass used with American whiskey, it was created and intended for Scotch and not intended for any whiskeys above 100 proof because it creates so much aroma from the glass that ethanol can just burn your nose. But I think I've just nosed so many whiskeys that my nose is all burned up and it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, that's the funny thing about the Glencairn is it was intended for Scotch. It was intended for lower proof spirits, but it's kind of become the norm or the holy grail of glassware to drink and taste whiskey out of.
Yeah, and Jake, do either of you guys have one? I didn't bring a Glencairn in here with me, but
yeah.
I do.
So if you're watching, kind of a tulip shaped glass with a little knob at the bottom. So there's, like Jake said, it's very good for nosing. Reason being, you have a wide surface area,
Almost
and
too good.
It tulips up a little bit, and that kind of forces the aroma to come out through a small narrow opening in the top. And that's really, really good for nosing. But that, again, is if you have a higher proof, that's why it can be a little harsh and ethanol forward on the nose with a glass like that. Some of the big things about them, and I think why they are everywhere and why they're so commonly used, they're pretty darn cheap in the grand scheme of things, even if you're just looking at an unetched one. I mean, usually...
They're surprisingly very durable, too.
Very, yep. If you're not concerned about the etch or you don't have a really nice etch one, you can dishwasher them. It's not going to damage the glass at all. If it's etched over time, that etching will wear off unless it's a really good etch. But yeah, they can.
The Gold Eagle etches don't wear off, FYI.
All right.
Bourbon Matters ones too.
Yeah.
No, yeah, those don't either because I ordered those from the same supplier. It's a deep.
You
it's
can
a
usually
deep
tell
etch.
pretty easily by running your finger over it if you can feel the etching, and you can feel it drop back a 1/16 of an inch or so, and not just like scraping or just rough on your finger. That it's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's some of the big. Yeah, it's
I
durable.
also got the
so you
weak
can dishwasher it. Oh, yeah. The Wii. I've had a few of those. I kind of use those as shot glasses for other things. Just that way I look classy when I'm taking a shot of Fireball.
Yeah.
Are you wearing a Batman and Robin costume, by the way? Gold Eagle Jake?
you talking to me?
Yeah, you kind of look like Robin. Doesn't he kind of look like Robin?
No, this is a.
Jake, back
I mean,
me up
I
on
guess I could see that.
I mean, kind of.
that. Yeah, okay, thank you.
That's
All
like Jamaican colors, isn't
It's
it?
it is like a Rasta Burton snowboarding undershirt. We have a pretty crisp
Robin
day here. I
costume.
got home. It was pretty cold. And I was looking for a long sleeve, and this thing just warms you up almost too good because now I'm starting to sweat in here.
You look like Robin.
It's comfy.
Not only are they, they're cheap, they're durable. They create a great nosing experience. But no, if you hold it from the bottom, you don't have to worry about having your hand around the whiskey and heating the whiskey up if you don't want it to warm it up at all. So it does have like a little thermal barrier for it. They don't take up a ton of space, so you can have a ton of them. And usually if you're a whiskey drinker, this would be something that you should have if you're drinking a lot of whiskey neat, right? Like there's no reason.
This would probably be the only glass that you absolutely should have.
I think there'd be probably 2 glasses that you should have.
You should have rocks.
Rocks or tumbler, yeah.
Well, yeah, and a Glencairn.
Yeah, I would say those are the 2, and we can talk about the pros and cons. But if you like drinking whiskey neat, definitely something you should have. They're everywhere. You go to any distillery, basically they'll have them for sale. Gold Eagle has them. I mean, when you go to whiskey tastings, normally that's what you get is a Glencairn glass. Just super, like I said, for what, 15? I'm not sure what they sell for, Jake, in the store.
Yeah, they
15,
sell for
20
$15.
bucks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's $15 an etched
We
glass
saw it
with
$14.99.
a logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and there's still enough markup on that for someone to make money. It's a perfect all around glass. So definitely something that if you are drinking whiskey, it should be on the shelf. Usually, it's nice to have a few of them if you're doing tastings of a few different things, so you don't cross contaminate. If you've ever done any of the Gold Eagle master classes, you understand that. But you should have a few.
Yeah.
Jake, what's another glass you like drinking out? Do you just want to talk about the tumbler, or you want to talk about something else?
Me?
Well,
Yeah.
I think let me just quickly honorable mention the wee Glencairn. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's a smaller version, and they actually call it wee Glen, which is very cute. And funny quick story about the wee Glencairn. Before we got the Gold Eagle ones at the store, we used to have a customer that would come to the bar all the time and bring his own set of wee Glencairns. And he claimed that it's a much better experience than a normal Glencairn. And after digging a little bit more into why he felt this way, it was mostly
because he was a leprechaun.
No, because
okay.
Apparently, I mean, I guess this is true, but like, how worth it is this really? He says that there's less whiskey left in the glass after you're done taking your last sip.
Yeah, but you got to fill it up 3 times to get the normal size Glencairn. So by the time you multiply that 3 different times, it's the same. That makes no sense. This is a scalable.
Well, but
thing.
when you're ordering it by the ounce, you're getting the same amount every time. And then, yeah, I suppose when you're done sipping out of a Glencairn, you might have 0.01 ounces left in there that never, just gets washed out in the dishwasher, and you might have half of that in a wee Glen. So if that extra 0.1 ounce or whatever it is worth it to you, or if you just want something kind of cute, the wee Glen is a cool thing to have on hand.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any of those, but
didn't you get one when we were at like the very? Oh no, you didn't go that time. I think it was me and Roberta went to Rush Creek and you couldn't go.
Yeah, no, I don't have any of those. Oddly,
yeah.
They're also the same price as a regular Glencairn, which I never really understood, but
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about the rocks glass, right?
Yeah, rocks, tumbler, whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of tumblers and rocks glasses. I don't know. Time is like a construct for me right now, but I think it was a few months ago that I made a comment that I like drinking out of rocks glasses neat when I'm being lazy, and you guys got mad at me. But it's true. I actually prefer...
Why though?
It's just easy, and like I feel like...
How's it easier than a Glen? Why is a Glen not easy?
I feel like Glen is easier.
Oh, I don't know.
Because you feel like with a Glen, you have to focus more on what you're tasting, and with a rocks glass, you can just drink.
It's more casual.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. For me, like, I get that like nose like blowout overload like pretty quickly.
You can never smell.
I know, because it gets blown out like immediately. So like the rocks is nice because for me, I feel like I get a better nosing experience, especially on higher proof stuff. There's a little bit more air, mixed in. Helps me keep my sense of smell longer. I will say I prefer double rocks glasses, which are probably more common than singles.
Yeah.
But yeah, singles just I don't know the size and proportions I like don't care for. I also prefer square rocks glasses
To round.
to circular tumblers. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So the double rocks or the double size thing is pretty big because sometimes you will go to bars or distilleries and order like an old fashioned, and it'll come to you in a small glass, and you're like, "What the fuck? This isn't what I ordered. Then why did
Yeah.
they give me a mini me size?" But that's legally what it should be. It should be an ounce and a half of spirit with a little bit of your whatever, like we were talking old fashioned, a little bit of simple syrup, things like that. Like you don't need to have a ton of ice and other stuff in there. You don't want to water it down too much. So normally when you see a rocks glass or a tumbler, it's going to be something that's fairly large in your hand. But these are the double size.
heavy bottom is preferred.
Heavy bottom preferred, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good things about them is, yeah, if you want to make a cocktail or muddle something in it, these work perfect for making cocktails. So it's a dual purpose. You can still drink whiskey out of these neat. You can make a cocktail in them. You don't get the nosing experience that you do out of a more of a tasting style glass like a Glen or some of the other ones we'll talk about, just because it's a very wide opening at the top and you're going to lose a lot of that aroma out the sides.
Yeah, the lower the proof, the less effective a rocks glass becomes.
Yeah. Obviously, if you prefer it on the rocks instead of just neat, it's hard to put a nice big ice cube if you would like to into a Glen, things like that. An ice cube in a Glen looks
don't
really
do that
freaking
anyway.
weird.
Yeah, it looks really freaking weird. I've seen people put like fridge ice cubes in Glens. That just looks really weird.
Yeah. Similar with the Glen, like super easy. Like almost the majority of these are gonna be dishwasher safe unless you're rocking crystal or something. Probably the widest spectrum. You can get any design, any flair to personally fit you. This is the one where you can go wild on and get a lot of different unique stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting that Glencairns are like I don't know if it's a patent,
Yeah, it's one company.
but it's a singular thing.
Yeah.
There are no like variants of the Glencairn, or at least there's not supposed to be.
Yeah, there's ways to do similar things to a Glen, but like a rocks glass, you can do tons of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Kleenex and tissue paper.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's, again, I think these two, if you start off with these two, you have something for cocktails mixing. If you want to drink it on the rocks with a splash of water, something like that, definitely have a rocks or a tumbler. I have some of the actual smaller ones, which are northern, like Bardstown gave us one,
Yeah.
and Four Roses gave us one, maybe.
The Four Roses one was more of like a tasting glass. It was a little like tulipped. I think.
I can't remember.
It's not a straight wall like proper rocks glass is.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the most versatile of the glassware options.
Yeah. And like, especially with these, if you're the type that gets a little sloppy, they make silicone versions of these that are also super clean and easy, and you can drop them and don't have to worry about a damn thing.
Yeti makes versions.
But these are probably the ones I threw the most away of and only kept the nicest ones for myself.
Yeah, because you don't make cocktails.
I don't make cocktails. No, it's too much work. Too many steps between me and getting drunk.
Yeah.
Gold Eagle, Jake. What else? Yeah, you probably got the biggest glassware selection in front of you. What do you got? What's something else you like?
I've got a few different. I mean, we've kind of covered the main ones, but I feel like the Norland glass is something that we should talk about because they're super expensive for one, and they kind of had their moment a couple years ago. I feel like that was the thing. Like everyone wanted a Norland glass, and everybody, I had people asking for them, and people saying they were getting them for Christmas, and it was just a thing. But essentially, I feel like it's a hybrid between the rocks glass and a Glencairn
Yeah.
on steroids.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Norland glass looks like a rocks glass, but it has like a dual wall. If you're looking at the video, you can see this, but this is totally unique compared to any other type of glassware, which prevents your hand from heating up the whiskey on the inside, but you also still get that curved edge at the top that lets you get the full nosing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little wider than a Glen at the top, but not bad. Still creates a really good nosing experience. Biggest thing is I use this a lot in the summer. This summer when I was sitting out on my balcony in the evenings when it's warmer out, just to add that extra thermal layer of barrier between my hand and the whiskey when it's a little bit warmer. I really like these. I got these as a gift from my former business partner. I think it's the only gift I decided I wanted to keep because it's the only thing that I really like to use that he gifted me. So I do enjoy a Norland glass. Not only are they very functional, they're extremely beautiful.
Yeah, they
like
are.
This is usually, if people have never seen one before, this is usually when people come over, this is one of the first ones they want to try a drink out of is the Norland glass.
Yeah, I've got the matte black ones.
Yeah, dumb.
Which are really cool. No, because when you pour the whiskey in, the inside like turns gold, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but you can't see what the color of the
Sounds like
whiskey
you're
is.
getting your whiskey tainted.
Yeah, and you can't see the color of it.
It's still glass.
I like to see the color. I know people that
like-
love those like wood glasses and
We can talk about the wood
matte
glasses.
black.
I think it's kind of
yeah,
dumb.
we can. I think
I got
so
one I
too.
forgot to bring in here. I do like these a lot. There are a couple negatives on it. First one is they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like two
like
glasses
40
for like
bucks
50
a
bucks,
glass
40 or
or
50
something.
bucks.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
I don't know off the top of my head. Don't quote me. I don't know off the top
It's
of my
pretty
head.
close.
I think it's like 50 bucks.
Maybe
for a couple
25, 30
glasses.
bucks a glass. Yeah.
Secondly, you're not supposed to put these in a dishwasher. I wouldn't. And this would be something if you like to drop things on accident, do not have these because even though it's double walled, it's very thin blown glass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
Those are the two
extremely
big
light. Like
very.
it's lighter than the Glencairn.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have that like thick pedestal, so like it's all just
Right.
like single thickness wall all
Yes.
around. So
Yeah. But no, they also make like really, really heavy duty tumblers too that are
I
also
have
very
those,
expensive.
too. They're pretty nice.
But those tumblers weigh like 30 pounds.
Yeah, they're super heavy.
I'm not sure if those are machine washable or not either.
No, I don't
say
think
it.
so.
But Norland makes good products. I have nothing against the products. Like I said, I use one quite often. But they are expensive. But something if you want a different experience, definitely worth a thought of putting in if you have the money. But by no means do you need to have this. If you have all these, if you have a Glen and you have a tumbler, you're fine.
Yeah, they're really cool for having like 1, 2, 3 like friends over. And you want to like pull out some like cool, glassware that's functional. But yeah, it's like not realistic to like have a Norland glass tasting, where you're tasting through like 6 whiskeys with, 5 of your friends or 6 of your friends. Like,
See, we say this. We should tell Norland about this episode and see if they'll fund Gold Eagle for all their tastings for Norland glasses for the bar. And then, Jake, the best part, just have to have Drew hand wash every single one afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded actually like a great idea until the hand wash part.
No, just Drew's got neat things to do.
Yeah, 400 glasses after every tasting. We'd come back with 300.
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We mentioned it kind of at the top, what I'm drinking out of. These are Copita glasses. Very similar to a Glen in shape. It's just on a pedestal more or less. So a little bit extra thermal barrier. these I know are very big for tequila as well.
I was gonna say, is this like supposed to be for like cognac or something?
I don't know what it's supposed to be. I know, like, and this is what me and Rob would nose out of at the distillery. Is one of these.
Yeah, I think
Instead of a blend.
these are definitely meant for lower proof.
Yeah.
Like this is what your distillers are using when they're nosing their spirits at 40 proof and 20 proof, which is often done to really, pick out flaws in distillate and whatnot. But I think the shape of this, first off, the interior looks to be a bit bigger than a Glencairn, and the shape, the curve is much larger with a thinner top. So it gets wider and then gets a thinner top. So this is, I think, the ultimate nosing glass. And you really got to be careful if you have something 120 plus proof in here and you stick your nose in here. It might set you back a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're not watching on YouTube, it's basically, think of an egg, and the fat part of the egg is the downside, and the thin part of the egg is the upside.
Yep.
And that's what you're doing, is you're forcing all of that aroma right up through a very small central point. But I mean, at the end of the day, it functions very similar to a Glen, a little bit more of a nosing experience out of it. These are pretty fragile. They're not. I never throw these in a dishwasher. I always hand wash these.
Yeah, it's
they're not nearly as, the top is not nearly as thick as that of a Glen. So the glass is a lot thinner towards the top. So more fragile. About the same price though. Basically the same price for these as a Glen. So again, more of an elevated thing, but it's not something you need. It does the same thing as a Glen for almost every single person. Like I said, the only time like I really used these a lot was when we were putting blends together, and we would use these. But it's nice. It looks cool. It looks fancy. It looks more high class. You can really do the pinky out when you're holding onto the stem of this glassware. And look
very important.
Real. And that's just classy as hell right there.
If you really want to impress your non-whiskey drinking friends, you're going to use this glass with your pinky out.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk about all the caramel and vanilla that you're getting.
And laugh at the peasants.
Yeah. And you just look super cool doing it too. I mean, it's all about cool factor and preference, which is why I do this on the show every time, is because I look cooler than you idiots.
Yeah, for sure.
This is, like I said, I really only use this for the podcast just because I had him made for it. So, but not Gold Eagle Jake.
Mm-hmm.
He never gave me a Gold Eagle Glencairn, so why would I give him a Bourbon Madder Scopita? So,
well, I'll trade you.
I'll keep the one with the chip in the bottom because this first 6 they sent me, they didn't package well, and 4 of the 6 were destroyed, and this one had a small, tiny chip in the bottom. So I said this one was broke as well, so they had to send me another one. But anywho, what else do you guys got for glassware?
I don't know what this is called, but the brand is Puget. It's kind of like a large Glen, but your opening is very large compared to a standard Glen.
It looks different than the one I have because of the punt, mostly.
Yeah. But Jake, is that the one where the punt sit on like an ice cube? Punt.
Yeah, it sits on a like steel tray that you can freeze, and like it'll keep things cold if you choose. I think I had registered for these for our wedding because they looked cool. We used these originally on the podcast when we were recording in my office in person. I like them. They're nice. They're cool looking. Another cool factor.
Like alien looking.
Yeah.
Which most of it is. But yeah,
the
this
big
would
thing
be.
of that. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say this would
No,
be
go ahead.
considered a barrel taster glass, barrel taster, which looks similar to what you have, but it sounds like that's a specific brand that you can freeze the bottom to. So we'll kind of group these into one because I think the tasting experience and nosing experience will be about the same.
I got a similar style glass from Barnstormers.
Yeah.
Wide base, narrow top, kind of along the same. All three of these, wide, very wide, flat base where the whiskey covers a very large surface area at the bottom, unlike a Glen where it's a very small surface area. Again, the goal of these is to concentrate the aroma into a narrower funnel going up. I kind of like the look of these. Just I've been drinking out of this usually in the fall, the winter, just because I like to feel like when I'm sitting there in my slippers, I like to feel like I need to have my smoking my pipe, and I need the stock ticker just printing out a ribbon of stock prices. Like I feel this is more of that style of glass. Now Jake's is different, but the ones that me and Gold Eagle Jake have, the one of the big downsides of these, unless you hold them from the top, you're basically putting your hand right on the whiskey. So if you don't like warming your whiskey up with your hand, there's not too much of a thermal break on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one has a little base, but
Does it?
it's still kind of tough to hold it like that.
Now, Jake, yours, where there's a massive punt that a frozen steel tray goes up inside of to kind of keep the glass chilled a little bit. While we're talking about glasses, we might as well talk about different ways. Yeah. So that if you're watching on YouTube, he's got a stainless steel base that basically acts as a coaster as well.
Yeah.
And keeps the glass cold. Now, let's talk about chilling glasses and chilling whiskey if that's what you like. One of the reasons that would be popular is if you don't like adding ice, if you like whiskey a little bit colder than room temp.
If you don't like flavor,
and you don't want to water it, and you don't want to water it down, you can use that to give it a little. I mean, it's not going to make it ice cold by any means, but that's one way to chill it down, which is probably why that's fairly large, or well, that's why they did that style.
Well, if you're gonna make cocktails, as the Instagram influencer Thirsty Whale says, don't be an ass, freeze your glass.
Yeah. I like that.
cocktails, yeah, but neat, you're just going to take away the flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. Don't use a frozen glass to drink whiskey neat.
I mean, if that's how you like it, that's how you like it. But
Yeah.
I remember when those
I mean,
whiskey stones had their moment.
I'd say the whiskey stones, the steel balls, the big, large steel balls that you could freeze in the freezer. What they're trying to create is a way for people that want to drink their whiskey a little bit colder without watering it down.
Yeah.
Those are options. The problem I had with the steel balls is like, even if you put them in a Ziploc bag in your freezer, like it still tasted like freezer to me. When you put
I
a
never
frozen
had
steel
that problem.
Oh.
Your freezer's just
You
full
definitely
of shit,
can
I
tell
guess.
it kind of takes away some of the whiskey. And yeah, when you drink it chilled, it's going to mask away some of the flavors of the whiskey. I think people go through phases. To get into whiskey, you drink it over ice, and then you drink it to transition into neat. You're going to drink it with a couple drops of water and like whiskey stones or whatever you have with the freezer base. And that's a very, very quick transition because you very quickly realize, oh, wait, I like the flavor of this whiskey. Why am I taking it away by making it cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, drink it the way you like it, but at the end of the day, what Gold Eagle Jake is saying is if it's basically like putting the cheap vodka in the freezer before you mix your drinks when you're in college.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what you're doing with your whiskey when you're adding stuff to cool it down. You're totally fine if you do it that way, but just know that Jake thinks less of you if you do that.
No, I don't. If that's how you like it, that's how you like it. But I think someday you will regret it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got into whiskey, though, was splashing water in some
Same.
ice.
That's why. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. If that's how you like it, that's how you like it. That's how I got into it.
Straight to frozen bottles into a warm glass.
Nah.
That's how I got into it.
But one that I've hardly used a ton because I only use these on special occasions, and I'll only use these less because now I'm farther away from the guy that got them for me. But one of my old neighbors, kind of a spin on a tumbler glass with a little bit of a extra added flair to it. You wouldn't want to mix a cocktail in these. You can still use these for mixing cocktails. It's just the walls are very thin. But we've all seen some type of style of whiskey glass with some type of thing for a cigar rest on it.
That's just a rocks glass.
But it's got a spot for your cigar to sit on the back of your glass. I only use these.
Yeah, but then I can't drink my whiskey while my cigar's resting.
Right there. You can't do that?
Burn your nostrils. No.
Not even close to my nostrils. Not even close.
But
Can
that
you
only
light
works
it
for like
so
3
we can
minutes
actually
before
see?
you burn it short enough.
No, because it's illegal to smoke. It's illegal to not. It's not only illegal to smoke in your apartment. It's illegal to smoke on property here. So
it's
like
lame.
not.
Well, yeah, I was kind of kidding. I would hope you wouldn't light up a cigar inside your new apartment.
There's a window right there. But I use these for fun. Whenever Bill would come over, we'd have some Davidoff cigars, and these are Davidoff glasses as well. They got the Churchill etching on the bottom of them. But there's a million and one ways where people have that, or you push it into the side of the glass. It's got a cutout, but something if you enjoy a nice cigar with your whiskey. But like Jake said, like I'm still going to put it down in an ashtray. But it does create a nice influencer picture if you want to, with a nice pour of whiskey with a beautiful cigar smoke curling off the end of it. Makes a nice little setup.
Yeah, I've got this. Since we're going into novelty glasses, I've got this cool steel cup.
Oh God! All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Is that
if you're
like
listening, this is a mint julep cup.
It's a mint julep cup from. Oh,
I thought that was like the
What is
tin
it?
cup
Baker's Mark.
toppers.
Oh no,
tin
no.
cup, yeah. No, yeah, it's probably not a real mint julep cup because it doesn't look like actual silver on the
It's
inside.
very, very thin.
Yeah,
and
that's definitely not silver on the inside.
Yeah, no.
Jake, what else do you got here?
Yeah, I was gonna say like nothing that we really need to dive too much into because at this point we're just picking cool shapes. But then this is this is called a neat whiskey taster. It's kind of like a little straight shoot up with a little bit of a wide base. I don't really care for these because I feel like the nosing experience is less than the barrel taster glass. And there's nowhere to hold it without getting your hands warming up the whiskey. It just kind of looks cool. The other one is an Angel whiskey taster, which is kind of like a mini version of the barrel taster glass. Has a little bit of the wider base. This one has a little bit of a punt in it, kind of like the one that you had, Jake. But yeah, like I said, I don't think we need to dive too much into those. Just some different cool pieces of glassware. Of course, you have like your brandy snifters, which I didn't grab, but I do have one that are just like giant little bowls and really accentuate the nosing experience to a whole new level. And I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have more glasses in mind, but I'm sure there's a whole slew of different options out there.
One very important one.
Oh, God, the shot glass,
A solo cup.
the shot glass.
Which I haven't drank out of in like 15 years. So
Yeah, I don't. I have. I mean, we all have a shit ton of shot glasses from when we grew up. Not great for drinking whiskey neat in.
No.
No.
Whatever.
If you're willing to pour something into a shot glass, it's probably not worth drinking. That's my philosophy.
Well, I mean, there's. I feel like in scenarios when you're at like a super divey bar, that might be the only option. I will.
That's fair.
I will drink out of a shot glass, but I will never take a shot of anything.
What would you take
Doesn't
a
matter.
shot over a tumbler or a rocks glass?
No, I would take a tumbler or rocks glass all day, every day. Shot glass would be my last resort. Like, there's no experience there. You're touching the whiskey with your hand. Like, I just don't take shots because I enjoy the different flavors in different spirits. So no matter what it is, like, I'm always gonna taste it. But yeah, shot glass would be my absolute last resort.
Yeah. I don't have it with me in here. I mean, I don't have it. It's still at Whiskey Acres. We had gotten a glass shipped, or not a glass really. We talked about wood glass or wood cups or things.
Yeah.
We had gotten one at Whiskey Acres from the company.
We should touch on
Whiskey
that.
Grail. Which it's pretty, like, it's cool in theory. It's definitely not a neat glass. It is a cocktail glass or cup or whatever you want to call it. This company is called Whiskey Grail. It's made of oak. They char the insides of it, just like you would char the inside of a barrel, more or less to kind of add some of the more of that smoky and oaky flavor to your cocktail. I mean, it's not adding it in; you're getting it on the nose.
For like neat whiskey consumption.
No, these are way too big. I can grab it here in a second.
And I mean, also, like, you're taking away. I would think you'd be taking away flavor.
I mean,
or changing the flavor.
If you're drinking it
Right,
neat, you'd be changing the flavor. More. I mean, it's not adding flavor. It's the nose game, right? And we smell what we taste. I like it. They're cool. I mean, the etching, the wood burning on it. I'll grab it. I forgot to grab it. Is nice. The downside of it is, one, it's hand wash only. Two, it's wood. Wood dries out over time, so you do have to continually add wax to it, to the inside to keep it liquid tight.
That sounds like way too much work.
That sounds like it was one of those things where we had got for some reason they had sent us one, and they looked cool. They're expensive. They were like $40 a cup. And so for fun, I did a social post on it and said, just kind of like more or less the uniqueness on it, and see what people commented. And people started commenting that they would want one. So then I would private message them and get their feedback. And then I'd say, all right, what would you pay for this glass? And then know that it's hand wash only, and every once in a while you have to add wax to it. Now, what are your thoughts? Which, it was interesting as like a little product survey thing, because the feedback I got on it's probably going to take extra care, no one really cared about. They're like, yeah, something like that, I would expect it to be hand wash only.
It sounds
things like that.
like it's not that big of a deal until you actually have to do it after every time.
And then you never want to use it.
Yeah, the telltale sign, though, was like the people on the high end of price guessing was what it was, and the average guess was about half of what the actual glass was worth. So we didn't use it. I'll go grab it here real quick, and I'll be right back for if you're watching on YouTube so you can see what it looks like. But you guys can keep talking.
Yeah, I feel like there's just like you kind of alluded to, Jake, that like taste and nosing modification factor to those that, like, I mean, I get what Dan was saying. You know, like if you want to add some kind of extra charry taste or smoke taste, you know, to your cocktail, but then just like get a cocktail smoker.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I mean, or both. Like, I do feel like it'd be cool to try a cocktail. Now, that is not really what I was expecting, Dan. That looks like an actual, like, little charred barrel.
Yeah, so it's made of oak, and it is, on the inside, it is charred. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see. And it's been sitting outside, and I still get a decent amount of char on the nose when I reach into it. Size-wise, it's about the size of a tumbler or a rocks glass. They're beautiful. So that this was the Whiskey Acres one that I totally didn't take when I left the distillery. I bought one. But you can see they have on the backside, they had the Whiskey Acres logo wood burned into it. And on the front side, it says Whiskey Acres. The company was called Whiskey Grail. It's got their logo on the bottom. But this is more for cocktails. It is is it octagonal? Yeah. 8 sides. That are 8 different, basically look like staves put together. And that's why you need to wax it, is because of the seams from all the things. But it is a very beautiful glass. I leave it out more just as a conversation piece and a beauty piece, but it's one of the more cooler wood cups I've seen. So,
yeah, some of them are like not super impressive looking.
Yeah,
that I've seen.
But these are. Oh, Jake, are you thinking about getting these for Gold Eagle now?
No. Mm-mm.
Like, think how cool the Gold Eagle logo would be right here.
I mean, it would look cool, but no.
Yeah. The problem is they're handmade. They're just. I don't see the price ever getting down on these to where it'd be good for it, because it's a novelty item at the end of the day at this point.
Yeah.
So, and most people aren't going to spend $40 on a novelty.
If we serve
only
cocktails,
gonna have one, like no one's gonna have like 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we served cocktails and we did some kind of smoked cocktail, it would be really cool to serve that cocktail in that glass. But we don't serve cocktails, and we only serve neat at the bar. So we definitely don't want something like that that's going to take away or change the flavor. And yeah, I feel like if we tried to sell them, we'd have like 2 or 3 people interested, and the rest would sit on the shelf and collect dust. And then I'd have to go wax afterwards with the clean them.
Yeah,
that's what Drew's for.
Just throwing Drew under the bus left and right. Jeez,
I know.
Yeah, why are you throwing Drew under the bus? Drew's the best.
He is the best. I'm just trying to make sure just job security for Drew. Just making sure he stays busy there.
He's busy. Don't worry about that.
I don't know. It's like every time I see a Gold Eagle post, he's always around in the background, not working.
Moseying around.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fun to have different glassware. I can honestly say I had one drink out of this. I made an old fashioned at work to see what it did to the flavor. Again, you get a little bit of smoke, but we did smoke cocktails at Whiskey Acres, so it's not a big deal. Glenn's, tumblers, and then the other one I use the most is my Norland. But otherwise, it's basically a Glen or a Norland for me is what I'm using primarily every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's good to have options. It's good to have choices. But find something that fits your style and that you like. And at the end of the day, it's all that matters. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious if we forgot anything that anybody likes to drink out of. So definitely please comment and let us know if there's a glass that... Mm-hmm.
What was the glass that Kevin had when we went to Kevin, the founder of Beautiful in the Dam's place? Because he had those different glasses that you guys are drinking out of.
It was a Glencairn, right? But it was like a true crystal Glencairn. Like it was real crystal.
It was real crystal, but it wasn't a Glen shape.
Okay, then I'm thinking of a different time, because I have drinking out of real crystal Glencairns, and that's a very, very cool experience. The glass is like 5 times heavier than a Glencairn, and you just feel fancy.
Yeah, just fancy AF. But he had something that you guys both wanted to try it, but that was my first time ever trying Beautiful and the Damned, and I'm like, I don't want to switch glassware up.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I cannot.
It was like a wider.
It was wider and it was straight sided, I thought. But I remember him like he recommended or he had those, and I kind of felt like an ass because he recommended those, but at the same point, like I just wanted to drink out of what I was used to since I was trying something new. And at the end of the day, did it make any difference? Would it make me feel any different on the whiskey? No, but I'm just a creature of habit and a crotchety old man, so
Yeah.
It makes
All right,
sense to
I
me
found
just to
it.
ignore.
Google or image search for the win. I mean, it's a rocks glass, but it had like the octagon to the next level. Like it had like 20 different vertical. I don't know what you would call that. I didn't get that far in geometry. But yeah, it's like a rocks glass.
It's a
very beautiful looking
dodecahedron. Is that it?
Yeah, I knew you would know, Dan. It's got like I said, like 20 different isohedron. Yeah, who doesn't know that? But it's just, I mean, essentially, it's like a very fancy, super fancy rocks glass that's smaller than a typical rocks glass, so you're not getting as much. You're not missing out as much on the nosing experience.
Yeah, I want to apologize because the dodecahedron's only 12 sides and isohedron's 20.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You idiot.
Duh.
You probably can't even see that, but see the glass right there?
What are they called?
No idea.
All right. Yeah, I can't.
But
I
it's
can't
like a
find it
super
either.
fancy mini rocks glass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure there's tons of different glasses out there that we're missing. We kind of covered the main ones. Let us know if there's something that you actually like to drink out of that we didn't cover. We'll be sure to check it out. I know there's a lot more out there though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're basically like a rocks glass.
Yeah, it's like a smaller, fancier rocks glass.
Hey, thanks for adding way less.
Yeah.
Thanks for adding way less input than Jake just told us. So he said it's like this, but with 20 sides.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a fucking. It's a crystal rocks glass. It's like what you see with like a super fancy like decanter, matching decanter set.
Now it makes sense.
But yeah, no, let us know if there's something that you guys like to drink out of. If we missed any of the major ones, but it's always fun to have different glassware.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things where you just pick up randomly throughout distillery visits, or you see something cool at the store and you pick it up. But just enjoy drinking whiskey out of whatever you enjoy drinking out of, and if it's your boot after work, just do it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Have a shoey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But,
so
Jake, we talked about some of the. Oh, do you have something else, or?
No, I was gonna transition. Yeah,
well, that's my
same.
job.
So we're on the same page.
Say, if you need a Glencairn, you can get some cool Bourbon Matters or Gold Eagle Glencairns at Gold Eagle, or they have some other glassware as well. Jake, where can people see your
thought your transition was going to be speaking of shoes, and then just start talking about Gold Eagle.
Are you drunk?
All right,
or something?
Well, he did test out 8 different glasses tonight.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right. So as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I am one of those people who just kind of likes to have different glassware just for fun, change it up a little bit, try something in a new glass every once in a while, feel fancy or not as fancy. So we will order maybe once a year or every other year a round of glasses from Sterling Cut Glass. They are, I feel, one of the best etchers and quality when it comes to glassware. They do all the glassware and trophies for the PGA Tour, so very legit. That's why we have all these different shapes with the Gold Eagle logo on them. And I'm happy to offer 10% off any of our Gold Eagle branded glassware that we have at the moment. And I'll also include the Bourbon Matters Glencairn in that as well. So BM Glass will get you 10% off any Gold Eagle glassware or Bourbon Matters glassware that we have in stock. Keep in mind that we do change the shapes and styles usually every year. So if you see a glass now, it doesn't mean we're going to always have it. We just like to keep it interesting and change things up. So BM Glass at goldeaglewine.com or on our app. You can download it on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. We'll get you 10% off any Gold Eagle or Bourbon Matters glass when you shop online. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine and Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits. Throwing it back to you guys at Bourbon Matters.
Jake, since this was more of a visual episode, if people wanted to watch the episode to see some of the glassware that we were showing off, or if they want to find any of our other episodes, where can they do that at?
You can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to listen, you can find us on pretty much any podcast platform, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, leave comments. We've been getting a decent amount of comments lately, so thank you to everybody that's commenting.
And to be fair, every once in a while, sometimes someone that comments gets a lucky Gold Eagle glass sent out to them.
Yeah.
So,
just saying.
Yeah, we did have can't think of his name. Really apologize. Nebraska.
Was it Patrick?
We sent out a
Patrick and
Gold Eagle Glencairn a couple weeks ago. Patrick,
Jason
yes.
from Nebraska.
I think
I can't remember.
somebody in Nebraska.
Sorry,
I
Nebraska.
suppose I could look back on. Yeah, I mean, you put me on the spot here.
I don't. You didn't have to say a name. We don't.
Either
need
way,
people's identities.
we're sending out. We're true. We're sending out glassware, and we appreciate the support and the comments. It makes our job a little more fun, and gives us some more talking points. So, get involved with the podcast. Yeah.
All right, guys.
You know what's kind of cool is by like episode 500, I think everything at Gold Eagle will be discounted by 10%. So you can just camp out until then.
Just keep on listening, and whatever you want will be discounted.
Millennium discount code.
Or you can spend $500 and then everything is discounted.
I want that. I want that 10%
Also,
off that Weller Millennium.
I should mention too, you can just search on our website Gold Eagle Glass, and it'll pull up all of our Gold Eagle glasswares. And I included the Bourbon Matters in that, so you can pull up all the different styles. But yeah, 10% off on Weller Millennium probably won't happen because we're already selling close to our cost.
That's your profit margin. I'd say that's probably your profit margin.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
That is definitely our profit margin, if that.
Yeah. And I encourage people. One thing Jake didn't mention with Gold Eagle is if you aren't in the northwest part or northeast part of Illinois,
We do ship.
They do ship, and it's always something that's nice and easy to add to cart that they can include for you. So
we do ship. I didn't want to promote that on the glassware episode, but we will ship glassware. It's a tricky one to ship.
I think I found a job for Drew.
It's a tricky one, but we'll do it.
It is Nebraska Jason.
Nebraska Jason, thank you. Yes, he's a great supporter. I was messaging back and forth with him on the Gold Eagle Instagram page, and he liked that we shouted him out and put in a little order, put in the comments that I told him he'd get a free Glencairn, and we shipped it to him. So thank you, Jason, for being involved.
So if you're listening, if you send an Instagram message, that probably means you're talking to Jake. So make sure to ask him if he's got any tailors in the back, and you'll find out if he's got any tailors in the back.
You will. You might get blocked.
So Wellers and tailors would be great questions to ask on the Instagram. All right, boys. Good episode. See you next week. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.